is coming into sharp focus here. And Bernard, your thoughts on, well, so far we've not seen a clearly defined role for the deputy governors, which is why maybe even all the names that are there, it's not clear who could be deputy governor. Your thoughts on whether that should be clearly defined?
Thank you, Mike. I think when we promulgated the 2010 Constitution, we did not anticipate a situation where we'll have a vacancy in the position of the deputy governor or governor. Because according to the Constitution, the governor assumes, okay, if the governor passes on or fails to execute his duties due to maybe some issues, then the deputy governor takes over, which is in line with the, even if at the president's level. But now we didn't anticipate a situation where these vacancies of the deputy governor will be filled. And it's something that we need to cure as a country because it leaves the country in a situation of limbo and confusion, without really knowing what to do. But as much as the deputy governorship position is concerned, it's my hope that maybe as governors, they need to designate some responsibilities to the deputy governor so that it does not just sit there as a ceremonial,
But shouldn't that be clearly defined so that it's not even up to the governor
it should be defined, but the position of the deputy governor should not, like, say he's going to hold this and this portfolio in the Constitution. It's upon the governor himself to know that, okay, this is my governor, he's a deputy governor, he is qualified in this and this field, and allocate him a portfolio that is going to deliver services well, so that it's not just seen as a ceremonial position. So that's my thinking, and I think if some counties have done that, have given their deputy, like Kakamega, we have a deputy governor who is also a minister of agriculture, CEC for agriculture, and some counties have tried to implement that. And we want to see a situation where deputy governors are actively engaged in development and delivery of services, not just to deputize the governor and sit there or represent him in meetings where he's not available.
Nerima, that clear definition of the deputy governor's role, because that might also be why Nairobi has no deputy governor right now, because Polycarp Igathe came in knowing there are certain things that he's expecting to do, but according to him, he was frustrated basically by the structure. Could that be something that would have saved Nairobi from, or rather Polycarp from resigning?
Well, I believe that it's just politics in general, especially politics in our country, where you have some places have systems and some do not. And so I believe it's because Igathe wasn't a politician that he was met with those frustrations. But those frustrations are there. But what I think the governors need to do is go back to their manifestos. What are the goals for their county within that period that they were running on during their campaign period? And finding a suitable deputy who fits within their particular manifesto.
Be able to push that agenda.
Exactly. And that's how a deputy would be or should be selected, not necessarily based on loyalty, because sometimes loyalty can be blind. You want somebody who can be also giving you different
agenda and execute. But then again, that brings in the question of whether our politicians actually get into office with an intention of having that agenda, fulfilled. Because as soon as we see them in office, rare is the time that we hear them refer to the manifesto. Yes. Rare is the time that we hear them refer to their agenda that they came into office with. We just hear politics.
Exactly.
So maybe we need to change.
We need to change it, and that's what saddens me is the fact that all the people who are mentioned either had relations to a politician or once tried to vie for a political seat or were in politics. And that's not what should be the case. We should bring in different kinds of people from the business sector, and that's why I think Rwanda does well in selecting people from different fields to enter politics. And it's this sidelining that we've seen with the middle class that Benedict was talking about earlier, where there are people who can do very well in different sectors and they can manage particular ministries, but because it's politics, they don't want anything to do with it. So that's how you have individuals in areas where they have so much influence, but lack of experience. The experience that they have is in politics, which is banter.
Right. Bernard, how do we change that? Because when we look at manifestos on paper for each county, most of them are convincingly good. They take Mwananchi into account, but they are good document on paper, but they don't go beyond that.
Most of those documents, Mike, are prepared by technocrats, by people who feel they want to support the county. But in most cases, we realize that these governors are only given those documents to go and read. Some of them don't even understand the content. Some of them don't even read the whole document. As in, they're just told, okay, this is what you are going to read to people, this is what your manifesto is.
Right.
There are committees that prepare those manifestos. So that's why, in my own feeling, I think the position of the governor in this country should be left to technocrats. But because we have put it at a situation where now it's like being a governor is next to being a president or being deputy president, something like that. So it's a highly and hotly contested position that politicians want to go accumulate wealth. So after their 2 terms, they are possible presidential candidates. We have seen the likes of Joho, Paranya, and others now saying they are going to run for presidents because they feel they are now at a position or at a state where they can manage the affairs of the entire country. And that's where we go wrong as a nation. Because when somebody is put at a position where he's supposed to serve the interests of his county or her county, he develops or she develops other ambitions and forgets the people that put him in that office. So governor position should be left to technocrats.
To technocrats.
People who understands the implementation of the manifestos, people who understand the contents of the manifestos and what they want to do. Politicians should stick to Senate, MP, and those kind of things, representation.
Well,
because governors don't make laws.
You, the electorate, are the ones who put the people there. And unfortunately, with our Kenyan politics, the one who can shout loudest, the one who can shout the most, probably is the one who's likely to win. In fact, the one who can bully people the most seems to be the one who will win. But anyway.